Hello, Frontstretch readers and viewers. My name is Christopher DeHarde, and I'm here at Road America at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, with today's post-race conversation after the XBell Grand Prix. We're literally overlooking the start-finish line here at America's National Park of Speed, and I'm a little bit sunburnt because my sunscreen just didn't work this morning. So that little tube, it just didn't work. But anyway, I digress. Alex Palou, what a guy! What a guy! Another win, another win. Just can't beat this guy. It was a crazy, hectic race, and let's get into it. But first, we're going to go over the first few finishers real quick here. It was Alex Palou over Felix Rosenqvist and Santino Ferrucci. Rosenqvist actually turned the race's fastest lap on the final lap of the race, and Ferrucci finished third in a race that was pretty important for the Foyt team because Sexton Properties, one of their big sponsors, had a death in their family, and so they ran a bit of a tribute livery, and so that was really remarkable for them to get a podium. Kyle Kirkwood fourth, Marcus Armstrong fifth. Great run from Marcus. Kevin Simpson sixth, David Malucas seventh. We'll talk about him later. Nolan Siegel eighth, Scott Dixon ninth, Renus VK 10th. So that's the top 10, but let's get into the chaos that started here at Road America with literally the first lap of the race. So my story after the race is about David Malucas. Now, he started seventh and he finished seventh. On the surface, you would think, okay, stayed where he started, no big deal, right? Well, going into turn number 3 on the first lap of the race, he missed his braking point a little bit. The car was trimmed out a little bit more, and he was trying to figure out he should have braked a little bit earlier. I think he would admit that, but he didn't have the right braking points for the race, at least for the first part of the race, and so he braked a little bit too late, hit the back of Christian Lundgaard's car, and actually spun off into the gravel trap. So full course yellow comes out. Safety team tows him out of the gravel trap there, and he's all the way back in last. Gradually, through strategy and through other cautions, which we'll get into very shortly here, got the results right here, he gets his way up. He actually leads 2 laps before making his final pit stop on lap 44, and then just runs as hard as he can to the end of the race and finished 7th. So good run for him. So that was the first caution of the race. So the second caution, there was an issue with Robert Schwarzman. He went off track at Canada Corner. I don't think I ever actually saw a replay of what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure that the team is going to release the engineering camera video of what happened. Just really weird. Like, he was all the way out in the gravel trap there at the very end of Canada Corner, which not a lot of cars get out there, but he's fine. He was out of the car. They moved the car behind the barrier until the end of the race, so he was okay. Then the third full course yellow, Stingray Rob going to turn 5. He misjudged, I believe it was Marcus Armstrong who was in front of him. Marcus braked slightly early, and then Stingray just lost control a little bit, had to brake suddenly, and he sooner than he wanted to, and then he hit the wall outside of turn number 5 on the right hand side, the concrete wall there. Didn't have any brakes, didn't have any steering, it just went right into the tire barrier there. He's like, I don't know what happened there. It was a mystery to him. So anyway, the next full course yellow, there were 5 in this race, which, hey, earlier this year, who knew we would have so many full course yellows at Road America? We've had a couple of races that have gone mostly caution free here, and then all of a sudden 5 in this one race. So anyway, caution number 4, Connor Daly was trying to overtake David Malucas going to turn 5. It was 1 lap after Malucas had pitted, and Connor misjudged his braking point and went off to the turn 5 gravel trap, and then the safety team had to pull him out. So full course yellow for that. This is where it gets a little bit funny. Connor, the safety team were telling him to wait, but there's a big blind spot in the aero screen. That's what Connor said on Twitter. So he didn't actually see that the safety team were telling him to stop. And then Connor just pulled away and actually pulled the tow rope out from the AMR safety team truck. And as Will Buxton said, a race car grew a tail, which was funny. It was probably the line of the race. Anyway, so that was full course yellow number 4. There was one more full course yellow. Joseph Newgarden spun coming off of turn 14 on lap, I believe it was 29, maybe. So Newgarden spun. He hits the wall on the tire barrier on the inside of the main straightaway because this is out of turn 14. He's already gotten past the corner. He just gassed up a little bit too hard exiting the turn, which you're kind of supposed to do, but still, unfortunately, this happened. He spun, hit the wall, damaged his left rear suspension, damaged his rear wing, and yeah, his race was over at that point. Nothing he could do about that. So Newgarden finished 25th. And that was the last four-course yellow of the race. Then there were people that had to pit and try and save fuel to the end of the race. Scott Dixon thought he could make it to the end of the race, but unfortunately he just couldn't quite make it. He had to stop with 2 laps to go from the race lead. That's what gave Alex Palou the race lead, and he ended up winning by just over 2.17 seconds. Felix Rosenqvist was on, I believe he was on new red compound tires, which are the softer of the 2 compounds that are available. He was running down Palou, but didn't have enough time to catch him. And yeah, like I said, Rosenqvist actually turned the race's fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the race. So yeah, and a lot of people ran out of fuel right after the race because they were trying to save fuel and just trying to get to the start-finish line. These are like 8 cars that were actually parked after the pit exit going to turn 1. So yeah, a lot of fuel saving, Let's go through the rest of the results here real quick. We already went through the top 10. Louis Foster started on pole, finished 11th. I mean, look, not bad, all right? He didn't have major, like, any issues majorly, and, you know, hey, right outside the top 10, okay, no worries on that. Scott McLaughlin, 12th. He and Newgarden had a little coming together out in turn 5. That was interesting to see. Alexander Rossi started 24th. He did not have a good weekend going through qualifying. In fact, I think in the Ed Carpenter Racing press release, he didn't even have a quote in there, which pretty sure he just said no to a quote. But anyway, he was running in 3rd place near the end of the race, and unfortunately had to stop late. But overall, he classifies as a successful weekend, so good on him for that. Will Power in 14th. He had a spin in the race, and he also had a collision with Kyle Kirkwood that allowed Palou to get by and get 2 positions, so that was interesting. Callum Milot 15th, Colton Hurta 16th, finished where he started. Pato Award 17th, Christian Rasmussen 18th, Devil DiFrancesco 19th, Graham Rahal 20th, he started 6th. Marcus Ericsson 21st, Connor Daly 22nd, Jacob Abel 23rd, Christian Lundgaard 24th. Not sure what happened to Lundgaard. I know he had that spin later on in the race in Canada corner. That might have gotten him all that far back. I don't know. Newgarden 25th, Stingray Rob 26th, and Robert Schwarzman 27th. Like I said, just a lot of weird strategy, people pitting underneath different yellows. Made it interesting, although, you know, like I said, with the track being so long, right? Actually, I didn't say that before, but anyway, track's over 4 miles in length, so there's not really much you can do in terms of strategy, unlike a street course or a very short road course. You're kind of locked into how long your stints can be. So yeah, really got to be careful about that. So I did want to bring this up because this is going to be a slightly shorter video. The Indy Next Championship was also at Road America, as was USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000. We'll go through those very quickly, and then we'll wrap it up here. Caio Collet, he got his first win of the season. He actually got by Dennis Hauger with about 5 laps to go to get his first win of the season. Hauger was second, ahead of Lockie Hughes in third, who won at Gateway, or Worldwide Technology Raceway, I know. Josh Pearson 4th, and Miles Rowe in 5th. Lockie actually got 3rd place from Josh Pearson there on the last lap of the race. Yeah, Miles Rowe in 5th. So USF Pro 2000, they had 3 races this weekend. Max Garcia, the points leader, won the first and the second race of the weekend. Max Taylor, who was 5th in points, won the 3rd race of the weekend. And then moving down to USF 2000, Thomas Schrage won the first race of the weekend. Teddy Musella won the second race of the weekend. Schrage is 1st in points, Musella is 3rd. So that's Road America. It's a fantastic facility. The venue was just so hot this weekend, though. A lot of drivers were having issues with the heat, and even I did. I mean, you can see the sunburn up here. The backs of my legs are sunburnt like crazy. I got cooked, and a lot of drivers got cooked today. So yeah, if you ever have a chance to get up here for a race, do it. It's awesome. I can't recommend it enough. The whole facility is tremendous. The town of Elkhart Lake is great too. A lot of good places to eat. You know, you're gonna be very happy when you come here. So anyway, just last little remarks here. Alex Palou, I don't know what we can do to stop this guy. It's incredible the run that he's on, and Kyle Kirkwood having the wins that he's had this year too. They're the only two drivers that have won this year in IndyCar racing. So I think I might have hit the over on the number of winners we would have this year, over like 7.5. Pretty sure it's not going to happen this year. So, yeah, good on Alex Palou for winning and bringing in a brand new sponsor with Red Solo Cup, as everyone heard when he sang after the race was over. So, once again, I'm Christopher DeHarde here at Road America, and if you want to see more content, subscribe to the Frontstretch Open Wheel YouTube channel or read us along over at frontstretch.com and enjoy your next race wherever you're going to go. Bye for now.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back more for some great racing video content. And if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.